Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. We're going to start for respect of your time and as well as our agent's time. This is a fantastic presentation. Really looking forward to learning more, and I'm going to learn from that, and I will catch a little bit of your presentation as well. So thank you so much, and knock 'em dead.
Is this a turnout?
Is this the turnout?
Yeah.
For today it is.
For today, okay.
Maybe a few people.
A few people are
Agents
going
might be late for some reason, no?
Yeah.
A lot of showed up
We should be
later.
on time, but we like to.
Yeah.
So you're welcome to come up a little closer. It's you want to move up at least one, then it.
What do you say, John?
Yeah, that would be great.
Whoa, Joe.
Oh, did I made a big mess.
It's okay.
See?
It's okay, it's okay.
Are you okay? This is very well. It's not loaded to the. It's connected here. But we will get that out.
It's the table, you know? It's definitely the table.
Oh, I see. Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you for doing that. Is it Mariana?
Mariana, yes.
Mariana, yeah. What's
I'll
that?
get the card later. I
Good.
never have it on.
Yeah, you gotta put a card in there for a draw. So now we're in. How does this get on the screen? How do you get this on the screen?
Maybe you click that. Click it up there.
Well, it doesn't go there.
Oh, I saw your mouse rolling around on the screen.
Did you? Yeah, see, it's there. But maybe try this on this. Where's the mouse? Where's there? It's on it now here. So now going back to contact the server.
I wouldn't worry about it, because we can show them that on the iPad later if necessary. Or they've all got their laptops too.
Oh, we may have to do without it. Yeah, you have your laptop. You don't have your
I
laptop
don't
with you
know,
now.
that's okay, I can share with Joe.
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
Do you mind?
Why is this not responding now? Connecting to the.
Connected to the screen. There you go.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, it should work, yeah. So, I know the names now. It's Ryan and Mariana and Joe. So thanks for showing up, and this is Sean. So I'm Jesper, and we're from Science in the Making. And there was a lady who walked through earlier, said she gives us all her business. That's really nice to hear. Are you, any of you dealing with us now? You
I
are?
have purchased.
Adult, yeah.
I have in the past, like it's always been sort of, oh, if you need something in a, very, very quickly, it's, oh, go to Science in the Making. That was sort of, and that was,
That warms my heart to hear that. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Same with me.
Yeah, and I think that sort of
Like
is
so
your
exclusive.
reputation is that, so I've always known that, oh, you need something quick, go to Science in the Making.
Listen,
This is
that warms my heart. I'm sure it warms Sean's heart as well. I mean, that's the best bad feedback we can get.
Yeah.
So,
And you usually deal with the Mississauga office, do you? Is that
I went to Mississauga,
closest to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and yourself?
I have dealt with the Mississauga office previously, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so that's Neil who takes care of it. Great. Well, Oresta's in a meeting, but I want to say thank you to her as well, just for setting this up. This was initiated at the TRIP appreciation show a little while ago. So what we want to talk about is really the importance of great visuals. And maybe just before I get to start, you've been in it for a year, Joe, and how long have you?
Long time,
A long time? How long, may I ask?
18 years.
18, okay, so you started really early. And you?
I've been in it for 5, my business partner's been in it for 13.
Okay, awesome. And it's going well? Good. So, selling real estate can be a little hard sometimes. And we know that. It's the market change, the interest rates go up and down. Sometimes it's a buyer's market, sometimes it's a seller's market. But even so, with I say with what, 48, 50,000 agents in the GTA, there's also a lot of competition, obviously, for getting the property sold, getting the listings and getting them sold. So, interestingly though, and when I prepared this, I was working on my October numbers, and the October numbers were actually pretty good. Prices were up by 3.5%. Lots of new listings. I think it was about 14,000. It was like swelling with that number, and prices had gone up, as I mentioned, and it looked like a good month. November, I just saw it last night, and it has dampened down a little bit. I don't think that's unexpected at this time of the year, but I think, overall terms, maybe the market is in pretty good hands. Do you have any views on that now? Is it 2019? 2019, of course, is anyone's guess, right? Will there be another correction? Or?
It's gonna be a great year. Always have to be positive, right? It's gonna be good.
Well, I'm so glad you say that, because I think the attitude is so important,
100%.
right? But whether you talk to a buyer or you talk to a seller, it's the same thing, right? The market is what the market is. It is supply and demand, but I think being positive about it and just moving on through it, because I have bought some houses in my time, and I've dealt with people that were not very positive and had all kinds of explanations why the markets were like this. But when you find the right positive person to work with, it's so much easier. So, as Science in the Making, we do signage. You know us, so that's great. We were hoping sure there would be some new people here as well. And we have the saying that your business is to sell real estate. Our business is to help you sell it. And we have another slogan that we use, is that we've actually helped agents close more sales than you can shake the stick at. This business has been around for 35 years almost, and we now have several locations, and I'll get into that. But we've done a lot of things right, and truly, I couldn't hear anything better feedback from you, so thank you, Brian, for bringing that up, that if you need to have it fast, go to Science to us. I mean, there's almost a slogan in itself, right? But we know that great signage creates outstanding results. It's important really to have something that's eye-catching and that's done right to sell the house. I actually compare this, well, let me say first that there's all the social media, you can go to websites, there are flyers, there's newspaper articles, there's so much information coming out there. But there's nothing like driving through a neighborhood where you say, ah, this is where I really like to live, or I like this place, let's go down the side streets and check it out. And you see some good signage, some nice, clear and clean signage that's inviting. So I compare this, I used to work a lot with consumer products. And we also say that when, you can do all the advertising, whether it's print or it's TV or radio or whatever, but when you come in the store, there's nothing like it and you see the stuff that's right there. And we all know that impulse buying is created in supermarkets like that. And I think there's a lot of parallels to draw to the real estate market as well, where once you are out, you say, wow, this is really nice. I've never been down this road before. Wow, here's a house for sale. Let's check it out. And now we have our cell phones. Click, we could just take a picture of it. There's no more writing down, and even QR codes that kind of seem to be on their way out. But it's easy to sit in your car without getting out and take a number down and say, let's call now, or let's go on the website and see if we can see it inside. Maybe there's a virtual tour on it or something, right? So lots of great tools. But the signage is really the attraction that gets people to stop and look. And of course then when they're coming back, and they're coming to an open house, and open houses are directional signs there as well. And there are other little tools like you have your feature sheets that can be available either at the door, and then they can be put onto the signs themselves. So service, I think, Ryan, you said it better than I did. So it's about impact, and at the end of the day, it's about creating results. So we do consider ourselves being visual marketing experts. Maybe a fancy way to get around saying we're in a sign business, but it's really creating that eye-catching signage that gets people's attention. And we know real estate. Far the majority of our business is actually serving people like yourselves. We do service all kinds of other businesses as well, but the real estate is where we are very, very comfortable. We know the rules. We have people coming to us with all kinds of ideas, and they're great, and sometimes we can sit down and we do give some consultation as well for what will work and what will work really well in the signs. So we are approved and a preferred supplier by pretty much every company that deals in the GTA, and we go beyond. We go north and east and west, and even into some of the other provinces, and a little bit to the States as well. We serve everyone. So we provide the service that you can count on. We give you good solutions, and at the end of the day, it's all about showing it and selling it, and for you to profit from it and make a living from this. And the faster you can do your turns, the better the business is. So when it comes to our services, it's more than just a fast turnaround. That's a critical one often for yourselves. But it's also about what we can do on site. And we have a team of designers that can turn around very, very quickly. So if you have special things you need, and whether they're signage or they're extra things, we brought some other little things in here like the etiquette signs and please remove your shoes. If you've been to our stores, you will see that everything is available pretty much to take off here. But if you have something you want to customize somehow, well, we can do that too. Just give us a call, tell us what it's about, go online and say, this is my idea, what I want to do, and we'll come up with something and sort it out for you. All the manufacturing is, I said we have 3 locations. The manufacturing takes place in Aurora, and from there we supply out to the 2 other satellites in Pickering and in Mississauga. And so we have some pretty good and efficient machinery that does this, and above all we have a centralized quality control. And that's important. So it's important that what you get from us that you can depend on, and share with us if that's different, but you should get the right product at the right time. So The 3 locations, and there's some pretty smart people. You met Neil in Mississauga. We have another gentleman out in Pickering. And they're great to talk to because they will always come up with a solution for you. And then, of course, they'll turn around. So we in residential business and signage, and we also in commercial signage. So we will do the custom solutions. I talked about the branding consultations and a little bit about fees. There may be from time to time some fees for artwork if there's something custom that needs to be made. But that they are competitive and they are fair and not a big part of the overall cost. We also do commercial installations, and what that means basically is that if you, are any of you selling commercial? No? And I need to understand, because I'm still learning about realtors too. Is there a reason for that?
Like for our clients, most of them, if they are doing commercial stuff, it's on the buying side. But specifically for Amy, she just really hasn't ever had those questions, so it's only sort of been one-offs.
Okay.
And previously with the other teams that I've worked with, commercial real estate seems to be sort of very much separate, that you're either a commercial agent or you're a residential agent.
Yeah.
It is very different.
Yeah,
Very
and
different.
Yeah.
And
Different
even
skill set too, right? You have to know a lot of different information.
Yes,
Yeah.
different skill set.
And is
So
this,
it's too important to just do part-time,
Yeah.
commercial, way too important, so it's
Yeah.
better to be either full-time or not at all.
yeah, well, that's also our experience. So who is the commercial person in here? Not in this room now, but in this office?
We're just, I think, getting a couple of them in quite soon, but for a while we didn't have any.
And even there's sort of the separation of, like commercial agents will look at like Keller Williams as a whole and go, oh, well, you know, I'm gonna stay with, you know, C.B. Richard Ellis or wherever, just because they work specifically just, you know, the commercial side, because even commercial agents coming through this office, even if they have a great reputation in the commercial real estate industry,
Right.
sometimes because you're not booking from a commercial real estate office, they won't even do a booking for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I worked with a guy who did do primarily commercial from a Keller Williams office,
Right.
and he couldn't get agents to return his phone calls even when he had offers on, you know, $4 and $5 million buildings.
Wow.
Like they wouldn't return his calls. He'd have offers, and yeah, I sent you this offer with a 48-hour irrevocable, and oh, I didn't look at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
well, it's good to learn a little bit, but so presently you don't have a commercial
No.
not
Yeah,
that
agent
I'm aware of.
Not that I'm aware of at
Well,
present.
but there will be someone, I can
There'll
ask
be someone,
Oresta about that.
Because it's, yeah, Oresta would be the perfect person for us.
Okay, a little bit about materials. We have a whole choice of different materials you can use, but we use really good materials so that we know that your boards, your sandwich boards, and your signage is going to be moved in and out and be patched around and what have you. So it's good quality. We use a crease-on for sandwich boards, which is a marine grade sandwich board that can take, you know, lots and lots of rain and moisture and sleet and ice and what have you, and the sun as well. And we can cover the signs too. We have UV protection for the signs. We have different finishes that we can put on to make it last longer. And you may as well do that when you get your signs, because they'll stay clean that way. We even have, and it's a little hard to show that here, but this sign over here on your left is a reflective sign. And so is the sandwich board here. So it works the same way that if you drive in a subdivision and you see a slow down or speed sign or whatever, it will just glare back at you. So for a little extra money, you can have that feature. So because people also go out at night.
Do you like refurbish the old sign? Like for example, if I would bring you my sign, would you refurbish or?
We-
We're doing it.
Yeah, we do it for sandwich boards. So you'll save a bit of money on doing that. So it's about 35–40% off getting a new one. But we can certainly restore this, and it depends. Maybe you need new handles on it too, whatever. These are very durable plastic handles, and these are strong handles, and they're not. At this time of the year, you really appreciate that they're plastic because they don't get cold. Right? Oh, it's
Plastic
cold.
as light as well, not too heavy.
No, exactly. They are much lighter, right? So.
Yeah, we don't reface for sale signs typically. The material, the corrugated plastic just isn't worth enough to reface, and you don't get as good a finish as when you're starting new. So those we've not particularly got into refinishing. It's just not worth it.
So this one is totally, how you call it, reflective at night?
Correct.
The whole thing?
Yeah. Now, when you print on a sign with black ink like that, you're covering the reflectivity. So whatever's black on there is going to be very minimally reflective. But
the letters and all that?
all the letters, the gold would reflect what is like the for sale, the name will really jump out. The other side of this sign, you can look at later, it's
The other side of this.
yeah, the red side of that one. Yeah, it will be, that would be a good sign to do in reflective, for example, because everything that's sort of that silver color that's the reflective. Everything that's red is printed on top of the silver, and it'll be reflective but less so. So yeah, that sign would really pop.
It's really easy to see there. You can always see those little, what's it, glass?
It's powdered glass basically inside the vinyl. So which is what adds the extra expense. Yeah.
So our website was overhauled earlier this year. It is a really great website now. We've had amazing feedback on it. I'm going to ask you to pull it up on your own computers at scienceandthemaking.com. There's a hyperlink here, but for some reason I'm not getting the connection on my computer. But it will take you, on that hyperlink, it will take you into the drop-down menu on the Realty. You find your KW and it goes right into your collection. And there you will have everything. Has anyone of you been on the website yet? No?
I haven't been on the new website, but I remember the old one.
Okay. Forget the old one. Work with the new one. And you, Joe, have you?
Yes, I purchased it actually through the website,
Oh, perfect.
but not the new one. I think it was still the old one.
Okay. So that's good to know. So this is.
Well, if you can purchase through the old website, then you'll appreciate the new one a lot more. It does make things easier, and we're kind of, we try and direct people that way because, and it comes back to that fast turnaround, because when you purchase, like say a for sale sign, you might get a proof like later that afternoon, for example, just because all the information is available to us and we can deal with it almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the great advantage of web-based ordering.
And of course, for you is that you can shop anytime.
Yeah.
Right? And it's interesting when we look at our orders when they come in. A lot of them come in after between 7:30 and midnight. After the kids have been put to bed, if your kid's still around and you say, oh, I can just go in and check a few things. Or you're working on a proposal or whatever. But then, you want to use the daylight hours, although they're a little short now, but to be out and see people and connect and knock on some doors up. So easy to select, easy to upload artwork, whatever, and there's a great payment system with Visa and MasterCard. And then, you either bring it for pickup or we could have it delivered, and that can be ordered online as well. So there's a full service in it. So I really encourage you to use that. Fair pricing and value for money. Are we the cheapest? No, maybe not. But we have good value for money. And when we talk about the quality of our materials and that it's durable, that's also what you pay for. And you pay, obviously, in some indirect way for us to be quick.
Yeah.
And do things well.
Let me interject a little story here too. I think it's important. Do either of you, any of you, use a installation company, or do you install your own signs?
I used to do installation use installation company, but now I'm doing my own signs.
Yeah.
Or some.
Yeah, we get the sign posts installed.
And then you hang your sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
I think where the quality of the workmanship comes in and the choices that you make when you purchase them, that's when it really comes to bear. Is when you're working with, say, when it comes to you installing the signs or an installation company installing the signs, then the quality comes out, right? Especially if you're working with an installation company and they throw all the signs in the back of their truck, if you haven't purchased a good quality sign, it's the first listing. It's almost
Well,
toast, right?
even good quality signs get banged up.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a great idea to have them put up the post and then you hang the sign. And we sell these posts. If you want to put them in yourself, and that's, I don't know if any of you have one of our posts, but
You have this?
I had that post.
yeah, and they work well. They're
They
pretty
work
easy
well.
to install.
They're
Yeah.
strong and even the powder coated finish on it, they're really good. So, and easy to bring around because they're separated, right?
Yeah.
I think we covered most of these points, other than to say that there may also from time to time be a rush job. Like I needed this yesterday, I just got the listing or whatever else. What can you do for us? And most of the times we can accommodate, but there are times obviously where there may be a rush order fee. And we need to go on production and kind of give that a space and put Ryan's business in or whatever, and that's a little bit of obstruction there. So this is part of what you will see, not necessarily in this format. You will see on the website, you will see the sandwich board separate from the for sale signs. But here's an example of a real setting of how that would look. Old logo or just joined? I know you've just been a year. You've been here for 5 years?
Well, no, I've been in the business, but we've been in this office for the last 7 months. So we've got all the new logos and everything.
Okay,
But
so if that's...
I remember the old ones. This is my third Keller Williams office. So.
Okay, but it could also be you have some colleagues coming in, there's a new colleagues coming in and say, wow, gee, I have all these sandwich boards, what do I do with them just to throw them out? Well, call signs in the making and drop them, we'll have them dropped off and we will reface them.
Okay.
So there is some money to be saved in that sense. So I want to talk to you a little bit about mobile marketing or the vehicle wraps. And I think here this is a really classy way to have it. You see them for Subway too, or there are some agents that will plaster their whole car with it. I think the point is it can be done in a very elegant way. Some people will say, oh no, it's I'm driving a Mercedes, I'm driving a Cadillac, or Audi SUV, or whatever it may be. I don't want to have it on. But this is actually really an effective way to do it. It is a tactical approach to stretching your marketing dollars. And I really encourage you to give us the opportunity to at least give you a quote on something. Whether you just put something on your back window, or on the side, the passenger side windows in the back, or you put something on the doors. You can put magnets on, so you have them on and off. Those are great when you have an open house. They'll see you parked and they can take the information down. Other people going by can see it. But driving around the city is a different story. And the average Canadian kind of drives 20,000 kilometers in a year. I haven't been able to find the number for realtors, so I would be curious to hear just from you how much do you drive?
This is my first year. It's a good question.
Okay.
I haven't really paid attention.
You haven't paid attention to
I
it?
drive a lot.
You drive a lot. What would you put on your car in a year? Mileage?
Well, between 20 to 30,000 for
That's
sure.
valuable.
Yeah, so 20 to 30,000, right? So it's,
You
Right.
can-
the whole point about this is that
Yeah.
you get both your buyers and sellers to see it. Right? So people who want to get listings, and I have a friend of mine who's, he's with another company, but he just had his back windows, hello, hi.
Hi.
And you are?
Catherine. Hi.
Catherine, I'm Jesper, this is Sean. Welcome.
Good morning.
He just had his back windows done. And it was done about 3 months ago, and he said, I can't believe the amount of calls I've had just from being parked around town. He's up in the Markham area, Markham, Stouffville, in that area. But just parking on the street, and people go, I didn't know you were a real estate agent. So it doesn't have to look tacky. So you get the full visibility 24 hours all year round. And when you look at the cost-effective part of it, you can't get a better per thousand cost on the impressions than you do with a car. A fully wrapped car, like completely done, and it will last, say, 3 to 5 years if it's looked after, will cost you about a cup of coffee a day. That's for a fully wrapped car. So it's not a lot of money.
Do you have a picture of just the back window?
There it is. Yeah, so we do full or partial wraps, and I can cover that. If we do the design consultation, we install it ourselves. We do this in Pickering. But we can, and the graphics that are going on, as you see through, you've seen them in stores sometimes, or maybe you've been in somebody else's car where you can actually see out. There's no obstruction. This is just the back. These are really just a few letters. But if you cover the whole back and then you want to have your face on it and you know, website and telephone number, you shouldn't really have much more on it. I mean, it doesn't obstruct your view. Another good thing about this kind of advertising is you never have to worry about any regulations. Sometimes when you drive in the countryside, have you ever noticed they have 40-foot containers sitting out in the field, and then it says, come and visit Tangus Mall up in 400 or something like that. They do that because they're not allowed, because so long as it's on wheels, there are no restrictions on it. The municipalities, it's removable anytime. And that's why they do it. I had a friend of mine who has some sports stores, and he opened one up in Markham, and he actually had, he purchased a double-decker, an old double-decker bus, like the old English buses, and he had it completely covered in advertising, and it was parked on the street. There was no parking fee, there was free parking at that time, and it was like, come to this store, you're right here, you're right here, come on in. It was an amazing way to advertise. So enough of that. We also do some, we could do tinted windows, and we could do some protection for your cars with the front for chips and stuff like that at the same time. Just to say that this it's smart, it can be really classy, and it's super effective. So trying to summarize a bit here is that pictures tell us 1,000 words. You heard that before. So we know that from your fact sheets or your feature sheets and website, and now we have virtual tours as well. Keep it simple. Less is more. You want to sell the house. It's not always about the individual. And actually these two here, there are no pictures on them. And it's not that you can't put your pictures on it. There's anything wrong with it. But there are signs sometimes where people get maybe a little bit carried away and say, you know, oh no, make it bigger, make it bigger. And you forget to show that the place is for sale, or here's a phone number. You just want the basics. Because all you want to do, what is the objective of the sign?
Draw your attention.
Draw your attention and get some potential buyers in and sell it. That's what you want to do. So that's really the essence of it. What you want to do is to make some money and make another the buyer happy, put some smiles on their faces. So, do you have any questions?
Yes. Thank you.
Please.
I am very interested, like, you know, I see that you're doing business cards.
Yeah.
and feature sheets,
Yeah.
right? So, and, yeah, all this at the back here.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, for example, feature sheets or even flyers. Do you do those? Or do you do printing at least, like?
Yeah, I mean,
Because, you know, I'm looking for the company that is fast with my printing material. Like, for example, I have a flyer that it takes 3 weeks for me to get it to print. Vistaprint, it's usually 3 weeks.
That's your
But-
postcards?
Yeah, flyers. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, postcards
Yeah.
or, you know, whatever the size is.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. So if you know, I can find somebody to do that for me at, you know, a great price and a little sooner, you know, I'd be.
Yeah, by the time 3 weeks have gone by, it's almost, you're almost
Crazy long.
too late, yeah.
Yeah, there is already, you know, it's like, yeah, late for the information that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, on it, right?
I think
So-
especially if you have somewhat of a template that you know, you might just change a picture and some information and a few details, right? And then you just, there's very little design involved, we just set something up.
Or even if I just send it and you print it.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
Would that be, would?
Certainly, yeah. Now, I can't tell you exactly how long it would be, but I would say it's usually in the range of about 5 business days for
that's-
postcards and things like that.
And I can pick it up, like Mississauga is very close. See, that's the thing. The other one, you can't pick it up.
Mm-hmm,
So,
yeah,
yeah, they either send it to the office or to their office downtown and pick it up from there, but it's all same time.
yeah. Do you live in the West End?
That's all.
It's over, isn't it?
yeah, so that's really close for
Yeah.
Yeah. So 5 days that's a pretty good turnaround. So, but like John said, if you create a template, it's just about matter of replacing some pictures and text that you would prepare. Then you can upload it, and we will see it. If you upload it tonight, we'll see it tomorrow morning. The designers will take a look at it, and if they have questions, they'll get in touch with you either by email or by phone.
And then they just send to print or.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it's
so
usually that time frame after the proof is approved, right? Because obviously it takes time to do the artwork and to design it, but once you've approved the proof, then I think, I would have to confirm it specifically for you, but I think we usually say 5 business days for stuff like that.
Even though if I, 5 business days is great, but even if I send you a flyer, it doesn't have to be approved even, right? It's just needs
That's
to be
right.
printed.
Yeah, if you've done all the artwork
Yeah.
already, yeah, it
Yeah.
speeds things up.
And what would be the minimum that you would have to order in terms of pieces?
Usually for business cards, brochures, flyers, we usually say 1,000. Because you're going to pay essentially the same price for 500 cards or brochures as you are for 1,000. Because most of the cost in the smaller numbers is the setup. So to run an extra 500 cards is not expensive. So yeah, I usually recommend at least 1,000 for those sorts of things. Yeah.
Okay.
Pardon me?
Not, I
Yes.
would be interested.
Oh, okay.
With the feature sheets,
Put it up in a little
you would
jar.
need the pictures, right? So the photographer, you wouldn't have a photographer, would you? Send
No.
out for the feature sheets.
No, we don't have an
Do that.
in-house photographer.
Yeah.
We can, we're acquainted with some photographers, so if that was something that you needed done, then we could get someone. Yeah, usually we work with the information provided to us. Usually the agents will send us photos, send us the copy, and then, you know, we either lay it out and charge for the design of that, or we print something that's already designed. Yeah.
Sorry, did you say that you do have templates online? Where we can just put in our own pictures and use our own words?
No, that we don't have. What we may have is some templates like in our own, you know, in our own art files. But, yeah.
Do you have, would that help you if we had templates?
It probably would help a lot of the starting agents,
Yeah.
definitely. You know, I've worked on a lot of teams, and you know they've already had a lot of things established. But just from being in a lot of meetings like this, for new agents, I think that would probably be a big help, because a lot of them don't even really even have that starting point of, okay, what do I put onto a, you know, real estate postcard?
Yeah.
And you know, where do I start? You know, it's, yeah, that sort of thing would probably help, you know, the new agents.
Yeah, and I guess from our point of view, and I think this is the approach that we take for the most part, is that we try and avoid the sort of the cookie cutter approach. So templates tend to gravitate towards that sort of thing. Now, you know, there's a place for cookie cutters, right? You know, if you're making 100 cookies, then you want a cookie cutter. But if you want to do, you know, Black Forest cake or, you know, something like that, then you don't want the cookie cutter approach. So we try and lean more to the one direction, but that's not to say that we can't accommodate that sort of thing or think about that sort of thing,
Well,
for sure.
Well, I think for you know, and this is just my opinion, is for the new agent, it's more of, you know, and for a lot of them, things start to come really quickly. Oh, I've got this listing, and they want it up immediately, and I got to find my photographer, and I've got to do, and
Right.
then the postcard does get, you know, put
Yeah.
down the list.
Yeah.
You know, as they're getting started, you know, I think they're fine with, okay, this is going to look kind of cookie cutter. I'm getting something out, trying to get out there and sell the property and sell themselves. And then as they become more familiar with it and putting all the systems into place, it goes, oh, okay, you know, well, I like this, but can we do this with, you know, this design and sort of work their way through it, so.
Yeah, I think it is something we can take on, but it leads to, and thanks for sharing that, because I think once you've been around for some time, even if you've been around for a year or more, there's always someone new coming in.
Yeah.
And their head is spinning, you know, and with excitement and nervousness and everything else. And it's just to think of it all. And probably one of the first things is to say, go find yourself a good photographer. And maybe you want to do some family portraits at the same time, you know, but have that in place so you have it on file. Because if you want to put on your signs or your door hangers or whatever, it's ready for you. And then, you know, give it to science committee hopefully, and they will take care of the rest. But it opens, thank you for asking about that. Are there any other questions? Because I would really like to know, get some feedback on some ideas. Is there something that we can do that make your life easier? Or some products say, oh, I wish I had that. This is something new that we just came up with. And it's a little, yeah, it's really, you know, it's just a lifting up. I mean, today, what is the average price of a house is nearly $800,000 in Toronto, right? And you know, so to have something we printed out and put in a piece of tape on a door, on a refrigerator, and say, please take your shoes off or whatever. There's some ways to do something that's a little extra. And this collapses, by the way. You can take the legs off, and then
And opens up,
it's flat.
right? So you can
Yeah,
just
so you
insert
decide
the.
whatever sheet
So
you
you
want.
can
Yeah.
put
Now it's
whatever
great.
sheet it is you want in there, right? And it can be any message. You can create your own etiquette if you want, and whatever it is you want to have.
That frame is really cool.
Yeah,
Very classy.
yeah. But you know, so license. You know, if you
That's
don't.
interesting.
You don't want to wrap your car,
You don't want to wrap your car.
put your
you just-
website on there or something.
Yeah, so you saw the ones as this girl sells real estate. I think that's I really
I
love
like
that.
that
Yeah,
one,
that's
too.
good, isn't it? And that's all you need sometimes. Wow, I like that. So, but it could be as simple as this. And then, you know, we're lucky, right in front of the picture, there's a KW.
So for those wraps,
Yes, sir.
it's all done through Pickering, the Pickering office?
Yes, it is.
So you would have to go bring the vehicle there.
Yeah, you bring your vehicle there, but what you do is you let us know what vehicle you have and what you want to do, and then they take care of the rest in coming up with a design after you have told them what it is you want. So I just want this done or that done, and this is the information I want on it. I want some ideas. You know, maybe you want to put a house on it, like some nice looking house. I always suggest put people on there because it gives a connection. right? And that's really what you want to create all the time. Get that connection to whether they're buyers or sellers for that matter. But are there any other ideas you can think of that you say, wow, gee, I wish we had this? And to me, I can say, maybe to stimulate the conversation a little bit, I have a little bit of a black box on, from your perspective, on what's required in an open house. And maybe there's something there you can do. I've been to open houses, but I never thought about it when what it is from the agent's side. You want to see that there's a register. Maybe have some signage up depending on the time of the year. Remove your shoes, turn lights on, or whatever else. I think we have another little sign here somewhere that says this item is included, so you can put that on the fridges and washers and dryers or stoves or whatever else it is. But is there something else that comes up if you just think it through, or something that could be really neat to have that we could possibly provide?
Oh, that's yours. Oh, that's you?
I'll leave it with you. Maybe something comes up. So.
I have a slightly more specific question. Is that a sticker on top of the car class, that one? It seemed like it was elevated a little bit. No, not the open house, like the actual big core class for sale sign. Is
No,
that
it's
a
not a
sticker?
sticker. No, but it's because the sign is reflective. So this will light up at night. And the names and the phone number. If you come up a little closer, it can look like a sticker from a distance.
Well, no, when I touched it, there's like an elevated edge to it. That's why.
Yeah, it is a separate
It
application.
is a separate application
Yeah.
on top of it. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
so we do print on coroplast directly, but typically to get a better quality sign, you would print on vinyl and then apply that to the
So
coroplast.
this is my problem, is that the last time we bought signs is that we bought coroplast and they're not lasting, like they
No.
look awful and
Yeah.
they're not old. Because they've just scratched up from the ins and outs of getting in and out of cars and everything, like they just look they look super awful.
Yeah.
So so printing right onto the coroplast doesn't work, but a sticker, like how have you felt that have you had feedback on how they're lasting?
Oh, well, you weren't here at the beginning, but we've been doing this for 35 years, so we know what signs last and what don't.
Yeah.
And printing directly on coroplast, especially if you're working with an installation company, does not work.
Yeah.
They get damaged too quickly. Even if you take your fingernail,
Oh yeah, the scratch.
you can
Yeah.
scratch it, fairly easily. So imagine, you throw them in the back of your trunk, or, it goes in the back of the installer's truck. They get damaged really quickly. So if you go on the website, any sign that if you go to the Keller Williams collection and look at the for sale signs, it's always pre-selected with lamination, because the lamination, which you'll see on both of these signs, is what we recommend, because it protects it from scratching. It's not bulletproof, but it's far, far more durable than the standard sign. So
Sorry.
always choose lamination.
No, it's good to get the point repeated. So
Yeah,
it's,
sorry, I didn't mean to do
No.
that. Your-
No, it's good for
It's
emphasis.
a great question.
Yeah, and lamination is, it's always recommended.
Yeah.
People want, of course, everybody wants cheaper, but in the long run, if your sign lasts 5 times as long,
Well, this is just it, like, we're gonna have to replace all of them, and it's like, we
Yeah.
have saved no money at all.
yeah, you
So
don't
what you
save.
probably didn't hear either is that we resurfaced the sandwich boards.
And that was gonna be my other question, so, let's say logos change or whatever, can you recycle those ones and just get new
Absolutely.
stickers made for them?
We can, we can do that, and we can put new handles on them. So
Okay.
These are durable plastic handles, and they're nice and light, and they don't get cold at this time of the year. But yes, we'll resurface them, and you will save 35–40%, whatever it is, from buying a new one.
Right, I've also seen agents flip them the other way so that the handle isn't quite so obvious, you know what I mean, like so that they're displayed the flip way.
Yeah.
Can you guys do that? Because it kind of makes it look, you don't see the handle, so it's.
What is that? So when you do this?
Well, like, I guess it must have been a different style of handle, but yeah, so that the handle was, you couldn't see it, and it just looked like the A. It must have been a slightly different design.
Well, you want this,
Oh, I know,
right? So
You're just talking about when
so you
it's
can carry it around.
when it's actually.
Right? It's
On display, there's no handle showing.
There's no handle showing.
Yeah,
but it
I
must
know
be
what you
slight-
mean, but I haven't.
I don't know
Yeah,
how
I
they're
haven't seen
doing
it
it,
recently.
I've just seen it. happen.
You have to send, if you see something, take a picture if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Send
I mean, clearly I understand I want, see, but even this, yeah, the side, the handle is more subtle when it's flipped the other, when it's inside like that. You don't see, look at this flip, doesn't look as nice on being on the outside.
Yeah,
Oh, I see
Yeah.
what you mean, yeah.
the problem with that though is that if the handle, if when you fold it, the handle, like the graphics are on the outside,
Yeah.
when it's folded in its folded
Oh,
position,
scratch,
then they scratch.
right,
Yeah, so this makes it far more durable. Yeah.
okay.
Well, talk about creativity and selling houses. I want to just show you a couple of places. And these actually Keller Williams signs. So we laugh, and that's exactly, now you have a connection. With a buyer or with a seller, you're equally. This is creative. You know, you're selling an $800,000 house. Yeah, as an agent, you can probably say, you know, on the first day you move in and you start, and the moving van is gone, the piece says on me. But actually, it's a fun way to communicate. So here's another way. It's this is about information. You know, you got this full disclosure. But here too, a little bit on the side, hang on the side, but it's, you know, it's not haunted. It catches somebody's attention, right? This one's a little bit more involved. This is about motivation. You know, this guy is really. He's really desperate, but I don't think he really wants to move when you read the text. Can you read it from there?
Except for expense.
Yeah. Must sell, lost job, can't pay mortgage, wife left, took dog, house at jam, except for asbestos, best offer. So.
Don't understand why he's not getting lots of offers.
No, that's it. And here's some honesty that goes into this guy. You know, it's a private sale, right? But he gets some attention. And that's all you want to do with signage, right? So, do I have one more? I do. Some people need a reason, right? And it says below here, we love this home, you will too. But here's some creativity to put out as well, and maybe as an add-on somewhere, as a writer, what have you. So this is what we came here to tell you about, and great questions. Thank you for showing up and getting to know us a little bit better. The risk we always have is, you know, when you go on a website, you don't really see a face or two in connection with the business. But you see Neil out in Mississauga, and he's a great guy, and he's been at it for a long time. He knows his business. But anytime, give us a call if you need some help. So thank you. Unless there's anything else?